Hey everybody, good morning. I want to talk to you about exams. What? We just got in the course and we're talking about exams? Yeah, I want to talk about the exams now because I want to be really clear about a couple of aspects of how the midterm and the final will work now when you can do something about it. Okay, so a few things I'm going to mention. So first of all, when we create the exams, we intentionally ask questions at different levels of something called Bloom's hierarchy. You can Google it, check it out if you want. But I'll just give you an example of two levels so you get a sense. Imagine, during chapter 2, as you're now reading it, imagine you somewhere find something that says, hey, the independent variable is the variable in a research study that the experimenter manipulates. Okay? And imagine you're studying. So you're kind of memorizing that. The independent variable is what the experimenter manipulates. Okay, when we get to an exam, we may ask you a question that's what we're going to call verbatim, which means it's almost worded the same as you learned it. So it may be something like, the variable that an experimenter manipulates in an experiment is called the... and independent variable might be one of the ones on the list. And so, if you just memorize or even sometimes Google fast enough, you can get the answer to that question, right? Now, so about a third of the questions are going to be kind of like that. Now, the other questions are going to be at higher levels of Bloom's hierarchy. And let me give you an example of one of those. It's called the applied level. And what we would do there is we might describe an experiment to you. Here's an experiment that somebody did. Here's what they manipulated. Here's what they measured. Here's what they found. So a whole bunch of context. And then we might ask you questions like, what was the independent variable in that experiment? Memorizing isn't going to help you here. You have to really understand what the independent variable is. It's the variable that the person manipulated. Okay, what did they manipulate? And you look and see. So it might have even been described as, there was two groups in this. One group was like this, and one group was like that. So then you have to figure, what's different about those two groups? That's the independent variable. Okay, the point is, those higher level questions you're not going to be able to Google. You need to understand, and that's why we have them there. We really want to reward those students who really know the material well. That's the core idea of an exam, is to try to figure out how well people know it. And in this age of online exams, the worry is that the people that know it well are up against people who can Google really fast. And the fast Googlers can seem to know it well when they really don't. Okay, so one of the things we do, yes, is use those higher level questions to make that issue better. But there's a couple of other things we do that also make the exam a little challenging. They make it challenging for everybody, but again, I want you to understand these things ahead of time. So one of the things is the questions will be timed. You will have so much time to answer each question. I think it's in the order of, don't hold me to this, we will give all the details when we give it, but it's in the order of a minute and a half per question, something like that. And you won't be able to go back to questions once you answer them. Why would we do that to you? You guys are already stressed out. It's already been a tough time. We understand that totally. And we really don't like, doing things that will make an exam maybe more stressful than it would otherwise be. So preventing you from going back and giving you enough time for every question. We understand it's kind of like that. But again, it gets to this core issue of, well, if you know it well, it doesn't take you long to answer questions, right? You know it. You read the question, yeah, that's cool. And we give plenty of time for people who know it to answer the questions. Those questions become stressful. That timing and all that becomes stressful when you don't know the material well. And that's kind of the purpose, right? Again, is to kind of reward those people who know the material well. Okay, so again, my reason for expressing this all to you now is you're at a point now where you can be one of those people who knows the material well, right? You know now that you're not going to be able to Google your way through the midterm and final and do well. You just won't. You don't in this class. So if you really want to do well, you really have to take the time to learn the material well. And as you know, that means encoding it well. And we're going to talk about that a little more. In fact, I'll create a separate video just about how to do well in this class. But it also means practicing retrieving the information. And of course, you're getting that practice as you go through this textbook with the constant assessment that we've embedded within the textbook. So do all those, read really well to try to understand the information, and then test your understanding with the assessment. And, do that as you go through, because if you get that deep understanding, you will be fine on the midterm and the final. Okay, good. Just want to let you know the rules of the game ahead of time while you have time to kind of be ready for those exams, ready to kick butt and do well. Show us what you're capable of. Cool. On with the course. Have a good day, you guys. Bye-bye.